All right. Welcome to today's class. We're going to be quick about it. We're just going to go over some cleaning swaps that I recommend and I use in our home because the things that we get off the shelf are not always good for our bodies. 9 times out of 10, they're not. They have additives in them, fillers in them, things that can pose harm to our wellness. And so I wanted to share a couple things that we do and what products I use. So the easiest way to put it is that when you do cleaning swaps in your home, you're making better choices and you're allowing cleaner products in that are going to support your body and not strip all of not strip all the good bacteria away. So it's going to take away the bad bacteria without taking away the good bacteria. So just a question, how many store-bought cleaners do you have in your home? And you can put it in the chat. You don't have to answer it all either, but just ponder on that question. How many of the store-bought cleaners like Lysol or bleach or anything like that you have at your house? Is it 1 to 2, 3 to 4? Do you have like 5 or more different types of cleaners for your shower, for your counters, for your windows? I'll be honest, I still have a couple in our home. I don't use them very frequently. I actually just used one the other day, and it was a window cleaner because I ran out of my non-toxic one, and I sprayed it, and my 2-year-old daughter started, I can't even remember the phrase she was using, but she was just like, smell, smell. She did not like it and irritated her. So it just kind of goes to show that the stronger chemicals and fragrances and additives that are in store-bought cleaners can trigger an irritated reaction from anyone, from littles to pets, us adults. So keep that in mind. Just be aware that the more you have in your home, the more exposed you are to those different fragrances. So these are just a couple of the additives and chemicals and things that are put in the store-bought cleaners that you buy off the shelf. Those phthalates, ammonia, fragrance is a huge one. Fragrance, if you see fragrance or perfume on any spray bottle cleaner, all it means is that they can put whatever kind of smells and chemicals they want into your cleaner without telling you what it actually is. That kind of seems a little bit dangerous to me. And they tend to be irritants to me personally, as I get head tension and discomfort, itchy eyes, things like that. Chlorine's another one that you're going to find in these products. And so you can see there's about 8 listed there. There's way more. I didn't want to list them all because that just becomes overwhelming and consuming. But another one that's a huge one I know that we've had an issue with in our home is formaldehyde, and not necessarily in a cleaning product, but just, let's say I go and buy my kids new clothes. That is a huge contaminant that's in the clothes when they put them out on the shelves, right? And so I always need to make sure that I wash my kids' clothes, my clothes, prior to wearing them. Otherwise, we tend to have breakouts and redness and bumps and things on our bodies that are very uncomfortable and tend to cause a further problem. So those are just some common things that are in cleaners to be aware of. And this is not to like scare you away from never using a cleaner. I like to say that if you're going to switch out cleaners in your home, do so slowly. Do it at your own pace of what you want to do. You don't need to do it all at once. However, the things I am going to share with you are kind of an all-purpose thing or can be used for multiple purposes, in the sense of eliminating how many cleaners you have in your home. And so that might help you, but you don't have to go all out right away. And because that can be overwhelming. It can be frustrating and honestly take a toll on your mental capacity, which we don't want. We just want to make you aware of what we're putting in our homes and using in our air and allowing our kids to touch. And I think like the things that I'm about to share too are all ones that I am comfortable letting my kids use in our home without being afraid of them putting it near their mouth, or me cleaning the counter and them touching the counter and touching their food or touching their mouths. It doesn't really faze me as much as, oh, I just sprayed Clorox bleach all over the toilet seat. Now they're sitting there bums on it, or all over the countertop and they're touching it. It just, over time, I've become more aware of the ingredients that are in our products, that are in our homes, because they do pose a further wellness risk for us. So the next one is our cleaning swaps that I wanted to share. These are products that I use all the time. So I'll share on the next slide just a quick couple recipes that I use as DIY cleaners, but almost always if you look up in the top corner at me, I use these spray bottles, and they're about, I think, 16 ounces, sometimes 24, depending on the bottle I get. And I will create my own DIY recipes, or have found recipes on Pinterest or whatever that I've accommodated to use in our home. And I do have several different ones, but like I said, there is one thing that you can use that's very versatile, and it's that first thing on the screen, the doTERRA On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. You can use this for just about anything. Not just about, you can use it for anything. And it could be an easy replacement for those all-purpose cleaners, countertops, toilets, handles, cleaning your car out, whatever it is. But I'll give you a variety of what I use them for. So almost a good chunk of what I do DIY wise, I use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. And it's just either like a capsule full, like the lid. I'll fill the lid up like once or twice, depending on what I'm using it for. Or I'll use a different line that doTERRA has, and I'll share that in just a second too. So lemon is very cleansing, so is lime. They also smell really good, so I like to add these in a lot of my cleaners. Tea tree is another huge one that is going to help eliminate that gunk that's on your toilet seat or that's on your countertop. And I think, like, for me, what I've noticed, most of these have not posed a threat to my actual finishes, if that makes sense. So like wood versus tile versus laminate flooring versus glass, I haven't found that it's an issue. But I always advise to test it out first on a small area and make sure that it's not going to harm your appliances first, because I don't want you to be like, oh, this didn't work or this ruined it. But they are pretty versatile. And then the last one there is Purify. Pretty much does exactly what it says. This is going to help eliminate odors though too. So if you like fry fish in your home and your house stinks, this is a great one to diffuse as well. But you can add it to a cleaner and help cleanse your home that way. So those are the 5, like 4 oils with the On Guard, the 5 things that I would recommend right up front. And then here are a couple DIY cleaner recipes. You can go ahead and screenshot this page if you would like. But here, let me go like this, see if that helps. But you can use these for your glass cleaner. That one on the top left is vinegar, water, and about 20 to 25 drops of peppermint essential oil from doTERRA, and top it off with distilled water. And you just, water and oil do not mix. So every time you make a DIY cleaner, just make sure you shake it up really good before you start spraying it. It'll mix all the properties inside before it comes out, so then it's all dispersed properly. And then the all-purpose cleaner, that's where I include that On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. I use about a tablespoon or a capsule full, depending on the size of spray bottle. I've used On Guard as the oil in this one. I've used Purify. In the fall time, I'll use clove or cinnamon. Those are much stronger, but they have really good cleansing properties in them that are going to help eliminate that gunk that's in your home that you're trying to clean out, right? And then again, that water and vinegar. If you don't like the smell of vinegar, to be honest, you don't really have to use it. I just like that additional support of really cleaning things down. And then the mop solution. So a gallon of water, I use about 2 tablespoons or 2 capsules full of that On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, and then 25 drops of essential oil. So really, it just depends on what I want the house to smell like. Most often I use peppermint. And the reason for that is that peppermint is going to help deter away bugs, spiders, mice, things like that. You clean your home, and there's times where I just go all for it, and the whole house, the whole floor gets cleaned, right? And I love the peppermint smell too. It's really uplifting and refreshing and cleansing. But lemon's great, On Guard's great, really whatever scent you want, but the ones that I shared prior are really good for cleaning. And then the last thing, I told you this was quick. The last thing is the Abode line. This is probably my favorite line. So when I'm not making my DIY cleaners and making them myself, I'm using the Abode line. And this is the dish soap. They have cleaner concentrate, laundry, what are they called? Not drops, but like the things you throw in your laundry. I can't think straight right now. And then dishwasher, they're called pods. There you go. So laundry pods, dishwasher pods. And then they actually have the Abode oil. So this one, that top little cap thing on the top right there, is a cleaner concentrate as well, but the Abode version. So it has that oil in it. It smells a little bit different. And you just take that and you pour it into, they already have a dispenser you can purchase, or you can buy another empty spray bottle, but you just pour that in and you fill it to the top with water, and you have your cleaner concentrate right there. And you don't have to worry about mixing and matching any other oils or the On Guard cleaner concentrate. It's really all just in that little vial right there. And I use that one all the time. Honestly, more often than I use my all-purpose cleaner now, because that is also an all-purpose cleaner. But both of them are great. Both of them smell amazing, depending on what you put in them. And they have their their dish soap. I use that all the time as well too. That's a great smelling one. It sells out pretty fast. But that smells great, and it works really good with grease and gunk that's on your dishes. So they have that all in and available at doTERRA.com. It's actually in this QR code right here. If you want to scan that, you can. And it has all the things I talked about today inside of it. And you can pick what you want. You can delete what you want. Anything over 100 PV, which is really close to dollar amount, is going to get you free shipping. And then I've already added a code to that QR code, but it's also right there at the top if you want to screenshot it. Add that promo code at checkout and you'll get the lavender touch free as well. And those are kind of just, that's the gist of the things that I use in our home that we've eliminated so many store-bought cleaners and so many store-bought detergents and things like that, because I choose to just simplify and use a couple oils and one On Guard cleaner concentrate or the Abode line. And they last a really long time too. So that's my recommendation. Do as you wish with it. And don't be stressed out when you move forward with starting to reduce the toxins in your home, because it can be overwhelming and it can be discouraging sometimes when you're like, oh, I've had all this in my home for so long, and it could be harmful to inhale or to apply to, like, have it touch your skin and things like that. I have a friend who makes her own bleach. I don't really care to use bleach at all, but that's an option too, is you can find a recipe to make your own bleach too. So lots of different choices to DIY your cleaners, and they still are just as effective, if not more effective, than the products that are on the shelf at Walmart or at Target that you commonly use in your home. So thank you for coming.